But first, let's do the good, the bad, and the fugly from NFL. Not NFL. See, look at this. I
It's
miss
force
it.
a habit at this
It's
point.
force a habit. Yeah, we've been doing it, but people like it, so we're gonna keep it going. But from the world of sports, Bert, what's your first good?
All right, let's see. First good. We know we're going to dive into this a little bit later, but the NHL All Star Game, not the skills competition, the actual game itself. Sat down, watched it, enjoyed it. You know, they had the 4 separate teams. They had celebrity captains. They kind of like, a little bit of a, elimination playoff style, but you can tell everybody was having fun. They were scoring some cool goals. And the NHL certainly made it worth it. And I think I enjoyed it more because my kids have been really into hockey lately. And rightfully so. Otherwise, I'm failing as a parent. But we all sat down and watched it, and it just made it so much more fun with them. So honestly, I really enjoyed the game on Saturday. And it kind of blew me away because usually I don't watch the game, and I was just like, oh, let me check this out. But I was like, I had to get better than after the stupid skills competition that I'll get into in a little bit.
That's hilarious. My good is North Carolina basketball team back in the shining spotlight. They defeated Duke, which is obviously their arch rivals. But Duke hadn't won 3 straight games at North Carolina in 20 years, and North Carolina made sure it stayed that way. So that was really nice. Tar Heels, big man Armando Bacot, I believe is how you pronounce that, had 25 points and 10 rebounds, which was like his season high, along with five assists. So that was nice. 93-84 win at home. And so big year for this guy. It was like he's a 5th-year guy. You get the very rare 5th-year guy. Not sure where his draft prospect is, but I can't imagine it doesn't hurt any less after beating a big-time college like Duke. So I wanted to give some love to my home state now, and that's North Carolina.
Man, and I look from, I've been to both of those schools for another job, and they're so close in proximity.
Yeah.
The like that you can feel on the drive from one to the other, because I've done it before. You can feel the hate. You can just, as you're going through, and you're like, ooh, yeah, this is real, but that's awesome. Let's move on to the bad. NFL skills competition. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like first off, it looked dark and dingy. I don't know who was responsible for the production, but like it could have been a little bit brighter, and not for nothing, but specifically the quarterback accuracy.
Oh yeah.
When Dan Orlovsky
Yep.
is beating NFL All Stars in accuracy, there might be an issue. Now look, I'm not saying that I can do better, because I can't. But as a fan and as a keyboard warrior and as someone who's going to comment from the couch, not a good look.
Not a good
at
look.
all. And it was like, for what it face value, somewhat entertaining, but I just don't like the skills competition they run through just doesn't hit. It just, nothing will ever beat a skills competition like the home run derby would.
Yeah, but it's hard to do it. It's hard in in leagues to match that, right?
Yeah.
Because baseball is so individual that, and the home run derby is such a spectacle now. It's hard to duplicate that in a different sport.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And look, I respect the fact that this is, what Pro Bowl week, like they've made it a weekend, and they've added skills competitions, which is something they didn't used to have. And there's a point that you just have to enjoy for the circus that it is. But I think I just found myself kind of chuckling to myself watching that QB accuracy one, just being like, this is a little insane.
Yeah, we'll get into more of that later. I definitely wanted to bring up the Dan Orlovsky part of it, because I thought that was tremendous. I thought that was the best part of it, because
he has bragging rights now for, like, he could just, he's gonna nonstop shit on everybody,
and more so vindication for him. But we'll get into that a little.
Yeah.
It seems like Dan Orlovsky can never escape certain things in his past, and people like to bring it up anytime he does something wrong, and I just think it's hilarious. But my bad is Joel Embiid, another injury, another procedure, more questions. It was like he's out for the season. He's out for 4 weeks. Looks more like 6 to 8 weeks. And the worst part of it is, because of this new stupid ass 65 game eligibility rule, he will now be ineligible to win an NBA MVP. And he was much in the driver's seat, like by far and away, in the driver's seat to win an MVP. So reportedly, he displaced a flap of the meniscus, which is different than a tear somehow. He's going to be out for at least a month, which is awful, especially during this stretch of the NBA season. NBA trade deadline's coming up. I would imagine if the Sixers are aggressive in the trade deadline, I would imagine that they think that he will be back before the playoffs. You don't trade if Joel Embiid's not coming back, because you don't want to get rid of your assets to salvage a season where you can't maintain those players. So the bad is the Sixers are 26-8 when Embiid is playing, and they're 4-10 when he's not, including the loss we just had last night. So we were second in the East. We're dropped over the last couple games that he's been out. We've lost, I think, everyone but one. We played like 6 games. Now we're 5th in the East, so that's not great. We got to stay out of the play-in tournament, so we got to do better than 7. The 7 and 8, 9 and 10 teams play in the play-in tournament.
Oh, okay, so I was like, we have to stay out of it. I was like, don't you want to be in that situation? But now you were taking it from the other angle.
Right. Yeah. I don't want that. That's awful. That'd be like, we have to be the 6th seed at worst by the time he comes back. And hopefully he comes back in the closer to the 4-week span. But it's just devastating because the Sixers were so damn good this year. Yeah. We were so good. Like, we have been legitimately one of the 3 best teams in the league. Tyrese Maxey was turning into a star. He's an all-star this year, first-time all-star. And Joel Embiid is having a better season than the season last year he had, and he was the MVP last year. So it's just frustrating as a Sixers fan, and we went over this last week, my cycle of fandom.
Yeah.
It just struck early, but it's definitely a devastating and heartbreaking loss. That's why it's my bad this week.
Yeah, it's got to be bad this week, right? I know last week we were speaking about and speculation on the injury and what's going to happen, but this could be not. I mean, I don't want to say. I'm not even going to put it out there. Not going to put it out there. You just hope for the best and go from there. The things sports do to us, I'm telling you. I was just telling a friend the other day. I was just like, I don't know why I do this to myself. I don't know why I root so hard just to be let down every single time.
Every time.
Yeah.
It's the life we chose.
What's your Fugly? Fugly this week. It's the relationship between players, but keeping in the All-Star trend, because it's really all I had to go off of this week for me is, the relationship between players and the NHL as it relates to participating in an All-Star game. And nothing was more on display, and I can certainly talk about it more in a little bit, but the reason it's getting fugly is because if you're going to put on an All-Star weekend, you shouldn't make it mandatory that players actually go unless there's a legit reason, they're expecting children soon, or sick family or anything else like that. If they just don't want to go, they shouldn't have to go. And I think, the biggest thing that happened was Nikita Kucherov, who plays for the Tampa Bay Lightning, kind of phoned it in a little bit when it came down to skills competition and the passing game in particular, and literally took his time. Just didn't put his heart into it, because I guess he realized, he did the math, that he wasn't going to win the $1 million that was going to be Connor McDavid, and I'll get into that later. And just truly phoned it in, and he got boos from the crowd, because the NHL continues to pipe this narrative of it's for the fans, it's for the fans, it's for the fans. And I know a lot of fans that just don't even care for the games at all. I think it's another money grab between the fans who are in that area, who actually want to, this happened to be in Toronto. So, I mean, you're in, literally the city that has the Hockey Hall of Fame. So there's plenty of fandom there. There are people going to come out. So you get the money grab from that, money grab from the merch, the advertisers, and things like that. But, there's now, if Kucherov had wanted to just not participate, he would have been suspended or fined. So you're basically going to punish players if they don't want to participate. Maybe they want some time off. Maybe they don't want to risk getting injured in some sort of freak accident. So instead, you get this, which half of me does kind of feel as though he should have just put a little bit more pep in his step, just make something of it. But a part of me appreciates the fact that he's just like, nah, whatever. I'm gonna do this. Everybody else can suck it, and we're going to go from here. So I think something certainly needs to be done. There shouldn't be any retaliations if players just don't want to participate or just don't want to be there. That's fine. But we won't face this problem next year because the NHL is actually doing a 4 nations face-off instead of a all-star game next season.
I like that. I like that. Put the nations together. Divide the world even further.
Yep.
I love
it. So that'll be I'll get into it later because it kind of goes hand in hand with my game ball. But yeah, I'm really, that announcement came this weekend while the All-Star game was going on, and I am so excited for it.
My fugly is going to WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes. She had some comments about Iowa's Caitlin Clark, the next face of the WNBA.
Yes, yeah.
And albeit for me to tear down a black queen, but she sounded like the queen bee hater when I listened to some of these comments, talking about her all-time scoring record she's probably going to break is going to be invalid because she's in her 5th or 6th year. Sorry, Sheryl. She's in her 4th year. I mean, like, if you're going to hate, have the information. Okay,
yeah, the facts.
You have to have the facts. And it just, listen, it's one thing for Bert and Germ to sit in the barbershop and argue about whether Jordan or LeBron or Kobe is the best, or if Mike Tyson would beat Muhammad Ali or something of that nature. But when you come out here and just hate for the sake of hating, if you don't, just shut the fuck up, Sheryl Swoopes. How about that? Caitlin Clark is nice. Like, what are you doing? And so, you know, she's probably going to go number 1 to the Indiana Fever, and that's dope to me. I think that's super dope. But women's basketball needs marketable stars. That's a fact. Sabrina Ionescu is doing it right now. She's facing Steph Curry in the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sheryl, that you couldn't go to do the 3-point contest with Reggie Miller or whoever was playing at the time you were playing. The women's game has grown, and when I hear things like that, I was trying to pull up some of the more her idiotic comments. I listened to it. She was on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, and basically she was saying it's not going to be an easy transition because, you know, whatever. I'm like, how the fuck do you know? Like, it's just, she's saying she's undersized, she's under this. She hasn't played in the WNBA yet. You don't know what she's going to be. You know what I mean? She could be a flop. That's not like groundbreaking analysis. Hey, college players may not be good in the pros. Like, that's not that happens all the time. We hype ourselves every year for the draft in any sport, right?
Yeah.
And we do these comps, and like, you get these 1st-round picks, and half of them are going to suck. And then like half of that half are only going to have like a 3-year career, and we'll never hear of them again. Yeah. And then we'll only pay attention to like the top 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it just came off sounding like jealousy, like she was wrong, and then she tried to like double down and say, "Oh, you're not understanding what I'm saying." Like, no, you were wrong. Yeah. And it's okay to be wrong.
And if we're not understanding, it's because you're missing the point completely.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I love people being loud wrong. She's getting blasted on social media, and I really love it. Shout out to the Protect Our Queens guys, Martin and Dwayne. They just had their show earlier, and they talked about it a little bit. It's just, I'm of the fact, and listen, speaking to a guy who likes to talk shit to people and does it full time.
If you're someone who's been kicked off Facebook dozens of times,
I am permanently banned from Reddit now. I got to add that to my resume.
What?
I am.
Do you know how hard it is to get banned from Reddit?
And they're on me too, because I've created like 4 or 5 burners, and I usually keep them for like a week. Yeah. And then I guess they track my IP, and I ban that. So I'm all out of emails, bud. I'm done on Reddit. So I can look at Reddit. I can upvote things. I can still like comment. I can't comment, and I can't create. I can't and like I don't get updated. So like I have to refresh it manually. Like, dude, whatever I'm looking for.
Like, how? Like, what were you commenting on where they were like, nah, man, not here? And the amount of shit I've seen on Reddit, like, what could you have done?
So I attacked the moderators of the Buffalo Bills Reddit.
All right, yeah. Like, so you just have sort like people who can't take criticism is what it is.
Basically, a bunch of butthurt Bills moderators. They banned me for this. And here's the thing: it's people. I have my opinion, and people talk shit to me. You know, mob mentality. I'll go after every single person. I will hit reply on, hey, if you got something to say, trust me, I got time. I always have time. And of course, that led to me getting banned. So I went to the moderator and said, what the fuck am I getting banned for? And somebody said something, and I said something smart to him. He's like, because it was like a 30-day ban. And he's like, congratulations, you got banned permanently. And so I made another account and said, I'll just keep making accounts, assholes. Fuck you. I was like, you pussy ass mother, like just crazy. Yeah. And I would like send them messages and shit. Like it was bad. So next thing you know, fucking permanently banned from Reddit because I was attacking the moderators.
That's impressive. To be completely honest with you, I'm
gonna go for them all. I'm gonna go for
you
them
have
all.
to at this point. It literally, I mean, because you have Facebook, you have Twitter, you now have Reddit.
Yeah, right on it, bro. And shout out to Elon Musk. I know I've been calling you a fraud for like 10 years, but I'm back on Twitter now. So, but I have I changed everything so you don't know it's me. It's a burner, so I can just talk shit to people because now I have a corporate job and I got to protect the political connects. Yeah. So I'm one of those guys now, faceless, like picture with my dog, like the other losers that talk shit to me on, if you're gonna talk shit to me on online, and your profile pictures of a dog or of a superhero.
Some type of avatar.
Where you're just a faceless loser talking shit to people online. You have no life. And I'm going to assume you've never seen a vagina before. So
have you tried uploading a picture of generic white guy with beard and large sunglasses? That seems to be popular.
That is popular with Air Monarchs and tube socks. Oh, I might upload. I think I'm just going to upload pictures of Tom from MySpace. I'm just going to be Tom.
That would be fucking brilliant, actually. Yeah.
That would be brilliant.